Hi, good morning. Happy Wednesday. We have a couple of more weeks of school left. Isn't that crazy? Can you believe that school is almost over? Can you believe it's almost been a whole year that you've been here in school? You guys have learned so much. I'm so proud of you guys for working so hard, especially now that you're doing it at home. That's even harder. So good job, guys. All right, let's go ahead and get started for today. Okay, we're going to start like we do every day. We're going to do our Pledge of Allegiance, okay? So get your right hand right here and put it on your heart, and let's do our pledge right up here at our flag, okay? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. Good job. Okay. So now let's go ahead and just move right straight to our calendar, okay? Yesterday we talked about it being this big number. Do you remember what that big number was right here? A 1 and a 4? 14. Good. So then what comes after 14? That's what today is. Today is April. It's still April. 15. 1-5 is 15. So let's count up to 15. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Good job, guys. All right, are you ready to sing our days of the week? All right, today we're going to do it a little different. Are you ready? Today we're going to sing it really fast, okay? All right, here we go. You ready? Okay. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Did you miss it? Okay, let's try it again. Ready? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. What? That was so fast. Do you think we could do it in Spanish? That's a little harder. Domingo, lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado. Oh, that was just crazy. Let's do it really slow. Ready? In Spanish. Domingo, lunes, martes, miércoles, jueves, viernes, sábado. Good job, guys. That was really good. Okay, let's do our new things for the week. Some of it's not new, right? So what is this shape right here? Do you remember what this is? This is a oval. Oval, yep. Good. Okay, what color is, ready? What color is this? Brown. And let's do brown in sign language. Ready? Brown. Good. Brown. Okay, let's see if you guys can remember what our letters of the week are. Are you ready? All right, we have 3 of them. What's this guy here? Lowercase what? M. M, and the M says, Good. What's this guy right here? N. Lowercase n. And the N says? Good. Okay, and then one more. What's this guy right here? The very end. That is an O. Good. O. And the O says ah. Good. Let's just do the sounds. Ready? Ah. Let's do that one more time. Ah. Good. When you learn how to read, like you guys, some of you are doing, especially in the afternoon class, you're just going to do that kind of thing where you're going to blend the sounds together. So let's do that. Let's pretend this was a word. It's not a word, but let's pretend it's a word. Ready? Nah. Nah. Good. That would be a really weird word if that was a word, huh? Good job. Okay, now who remembers how we're counting this week? You guys remember? I'll show you this. Remember us counting by tens? We're going to skip and we're going to go, instead of starting at number 1, we're going to start at 10 and then we're going to jump to 20. And then we're going to skip all the little numbers in between 20 and go to 30, okay? And we're going to keep going clear until we get to 100. Here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Good, let's do it again. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Good. Okay, we're going to do it one more time. This time we're going to do it really slow. Ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Good job, you guys. I'm so proud of you. Okay, good job, guys. Now, one thing we're going to learn about this week, one of our character traits that we're learning about this week is the word respect. Can you guys say respect? Good. That is kind of a tough word. And that word is a word that helps us be kind to other people. If you respect somebody, you are kind to them and you honor them and you are nice to them, right? You would want somebody to respect you because you want them to be nice to you and you want them to be your friend, right? Good. So one of the things we're going to learn about respect is how to meet and greet people. When we meet somebody for the first time, what do we do? When some stranger walks up, not even a stranger, let's say it's one of your mommy or daddy's friends and they walk up and your mommy says, "This is my daughter Claire," or "This is my son James." What do? Do you just kind of glance up at him and then turn away and look away? That's not showing respect, huh? If we're going to show respect, what do? Do we say hi and wave? That's one way of showing respect is the wave. You can just wave to somebody. And if they're far away, like they're clear across the room, you could wave. That shows respect. Another way is a handshake, right? So you reach out your hand, and it's always your right hand, the same hand we use to put on our heart. You reach your right hand out and you shake their hand. And when you shake their hand, you do a nice firm handshake. You don't do like this, right? You don't want them to grab it and have it be like a fish. You want it to be a nice firm handshake, right? That's another way of showing respect. So one of the other ways is, oh, hold on. Okay. One of the other ways of showing respect, which you wouldn't do to everybody, is a kiss. When you respect your mommy or your daddy, do you give them a kiss goodnight? Yeah, you can do that. That's a good way of showing respect. There is also, let's see, Waverly. Waverly might know this one because her daddy is in the military. In the military, when they respect somebody, they salute. So they put their hand up like this. I'm probably doing it wrong, but they put their hand up and they salute like that. That is a way of showing respect in the military for people that are either ranked higher than you or just people that you respect in general. They have a way of doing that shows respect for others. The other way that you can show respect is a hug. Do you hug people you don't like? Do you hug people that are mean to you? Not usually, huh? If you respect somebody, then you like giving them hugs, huh? Yeah, so a hug is another form of respect. Good. Okay, what about, okay, this one's kind of important. This one happens a lot in other countries. Have you ever met somebody or seen a movie or a cartoon that has somebody from maybe Japan? In Japan, they do this a lot. They bow. The bow is a form of respect, sometimes here and a lot in other countries. They bow to show their respect. Okay, and then let's see, there is one more, verbal greetings. You can talk to people and show them respect, right? By being polite and kind. And another form of showing respect is to look people in the eyes when you speak to them. So you look at people right in their eyes. When you're talking to people, you don't want to be like, hi, yeah, my name's Miss Tammy, right? You want to look them right in the eyes and say, hi, I'm Miss Tammy. And then you can shake their hand, or you can speak to them, and you can ask them questions about them. That's a really good way to show respect. Okay, so I want you guys to remember the word respect. And see if you can practice that this week. Maybe you can practice handshakes or greeting people with your mom or dad, okay? Okay, I'm going to read you guys a book called What is an Amphibian? And I'm not actually going to read it to you, but we're going to talk about it a little bit because we talked a little bit about what amphibians are, right, yesterday. Amphibians and reptiles. So I'm going to kind of go through this book a little bit with you, and we're going to discuss a little bit more about what amphibians are, okay? All right, here we go. I'm going to try it this way today and see if it's a little bit easier than putting it on the stand. Okay, what is an amphibian? Well, let's see. If it lives in the water and on land, sorry, I'll try to get this in the middle. If it lives in water and on land, it is an amphibian. But not always. Most young amphibians do live in the water, and most adult amphibians do live on land. But Ocelots are amphibians, and they never live on land. Do you see this little guy right here? Let me see if I can get really close. See that guy right there? That's an amphibian that always lives in the water. He never comes out of the water. So that's one example that doesn't always move to the land. All right. Not all creatures that live in the water and on land are amphibians. Did you know that? Turtles live in the water and on land, and so do alligators and hippopotamuses, but they are not amphibians. So, turtles and alligators and hippopotamuses. Those guys are actually, well, two of them are reptiles, aren't they? So sometimes there's a difference. You can't just go off of one thing to see if it's an amphibian. All right. Now here's the next thing. If it has more than one way to breathe, it's an amphibian. But not always. Amphibians do have more than one way to breathe. Young amphibians breathe with gills, while most adult amphibians breathe with lungs. And all amphibians can breathe through their skin. What? Wouldn't that be cool to breathe through your skin? But lungfish have more than one way to breathe too, and lungfish are not amphibians. Do you see that guy? That is a lungfish, and he is not an amphibian. Okay. If it goes through metamorphosis or changes form, it is an amphibian. Most amphibians, but not always. Most amphibians do go through metamorphosis. For example, a frog starts life as an egg, and then he becomes a tadpole before becoming a frog. Do you see those things down there? We're going to learn about this next week, actually. Those are frog eggs, and then they hatch into little tadpoles. But, look here. Other creatures also change forms. Caterpillars, we learned about this. Caterpillars turn into butterflies or moths, and maggots turn into flies. But butterflies, moths, and flies are not amphibians. So we learned about that, huh? Butterflies aren't amphibians. Okay, let's see what the next thing is about amphibians. If it has webbed feet, it's an amphibian. But not always. Most amphibians do have webbed feet, but So do ducks, pelicans, and otters, and they are not amphibians. Caecilians don't have any feet at all, but caecilians are amphibians. Look at this guy. Remember we looked at him yesterday on our poster? And he's not actually a worm because worms are not amphibians either. He's kind of like a snake. I'm probably saying that wrong. Okay, if it lays eggs in the water, it's an amphibian, but not always. Look at those guys. Those guys lay their eggs in the water. Do you see their mushy little eggs? Look right here. See those slimy little things right there? Those are its eggs. Most amphibians do lay eggs in the water, but some don't. The coqui frog lays its eggs in trees, and it is an amphibian. Do you see that little teeny frog right there? And look, do you see that guy's finger? That's how tiny the coqui frogs are. We talked about coqui frogs a little bit earlier in the year too when we were talking about frogs. Coqui frogs have a really cool sound, and you can hear them in Hawaii. And they're really hard to find. You can look and look, you'll hear it, and you'll try to look in the leaves to find it, and you won't be able to see them because they're so teeny tiny. Other creatures lay eggs in the water too. Dragonflies and salmon lay eggs in the water, but they are not amphibians. Okay, if it comes out at night, it is an amphibian, but not always. Many amphibians do come out at night, but others, such as the blue poison dart frog, whoa. Can you imagine seeing that guy? The blue poison dart frog, he comes out during the day. Isn't that cool? Kiwi, hedgehogs, and bats come out at night, but they are not amphibians. All right, here's another one. If they have slimy skin, it's an amphibian, but not always. Most amphibians do have slimy skin. The salamander is an amphibian with slimy skin, but some toads have dry, lumpy skin, and they are also amphibians. See, look at that froggy right there. Do you see him? He's got dry, lumpy skin. And he's still an amphibian, huh? So not all amphibians have slimy skin. Other creatures have slimy skin too. Snails have slimy skin, and so do worms, but they are not amphibians. All right, I'm going to show you some pictures here. Oh, it went upside down. There we go. Look at these pictures. I love this book because it has such good pictures. Look at that froggy hanging from that tree branch. You see that? And look at that lizard. He's upside down. That's crazy. All right. Did you know that there are over 4,000 different species of amphibians, including frogs and salamanders? Amphibians are, do you remember what we said yesterday about amphibians? Let's see if I can get this frog closer in for you. There we go. Amphibians are cold-blooded, and they usually go through metamorphosis. They start life in the water, most of them start life in the water, and they breathe through gills, and most adult amphibians live on land and use lungs to breathe. And most amphibians have bare, slimy skin and webbed feet. And many are nocturnal, which means they come out at night. Most amphibians lay jelly-like eggs in the water, and most baby amphibians don't look like their parents. So that's most of them. So there you go. That's amphibians. Okay, now watch this. You ready? I'm going to close my amphibian book, and then just like magic, I'm going to turn it into a reptile book. Are you ready? Boop. What is a reptile? Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to learn about this. Okay, let's go ahead and learn about our reptiles now, okay? We learned about amphibians. Now let's learn about reptiles. Okay, what is a reptile? Let's see. If it lives in a hot place, then it's a reptile. But not always. Some reptiles do live in hot places, but not all reptiles. Look at this guy. Have you ever seen one of these guys before? That's a scorpion. And that is a camel. Other creatures live in hot places too, like scorpions. They're not reptiles, and neither are camels, but they both live in hot places. So what else do you have to be a reptile? Do you remember? All right, how about this? If it likes to lie in the sun, then it's a reptile. But not always. Most reptiles do like to lay in the sun, but some do not. Sand skinks live in such hot places that they have to hide from the sun. But sand skinks are reptiles. Some creatures that lie in the sun are not reptiles. Cats, big and small, like to lie in the sun, and so do some people. But cats and people are not reptiles. So what else do you have to be a reptile? Let's see. All right, here we go. If it has tough, dry scales, then it's a reptile. But not always. Reptiles do have tough, dry scales. Snakes and lizards and crocodiles have scales on their skin. Turtles and tortoises have big scales that overlap to form shells. And all of these are reptiles. But look at these guys down here. Armadillos and pangolins also have tough, dry scales, and they are not reptiles. All right, what else? If it sheds its skin as it gets bigger, then it's a reptile. But not always. Reptiles do shed their skin, and as they get bigger, but so do frogs, spiders, and cicadas. And octopuses shed the skin on their suckers. Did you know that? They're not reptiles, huh? All right. What about this guy? What is that? If it doesn't need to eat very often, then it's a reptile. But not always. Reptiles don't need to eat very often. Some pythons don't eat for weeks after eating a large bird or a mammal. But cockroaches and goldfish don't need to eat very often either, and cockroaches and goldfish are not reptiles. Okay, here we go. If it has 4 short legs, it is a reptile. But not always. Most reptiles do have 4 short legs, but not all reptiles. Snakes and glass lizards have no legs, but they are reptiles. And a corgi, do you see that little puppy down there? That little puppy's called a corgi. Corgis have 4 short legs, and so does a platypus, but they are not reptiles. Okay, one more. If it lays eggs, it's a reptile, but not always. Many reptiles, including most turtles and lizards, do lay leathery eggs, but not all reptiles, huh? New Zealand geckos and most vipers don't lay eggs at all, and most tortoise eggs are brittle, like bird eggs. But geckos, vipers, and tortoises are not reptiles. All right, we're learning so much. Okay, one more. If it looks just like its parents when it's a baby, then it is a reptile. But not always. Baby reptiles do look just like their parents right from the time they are born, but so do other creatures. Zebras and meerkats look just like their parents when they are babies, and so do spiders. But zebras, meerkats, and spiders are not reptiles. So, if it's cold-blooded and it has a backbone and dry scales, it is a reptile. Yes, always. All reptiles are cold-blooded and they all have backbones and dry scales. Reptiles are the only creatures to have all of these characteristics. Let me lower that a little bit. If a creature is cold-blooded and it has a backbone and dry scales, it must be a reptile. Good job, guys.